do agree with you all that actually the government's involvement to me is bullshit as well. I hate it, but the sentiment of it is far more biologically beneficial to you. But men will opt in as long as you don't have that background, as long as you don't have that history, and as long as loyalty is there first and foremost, and that you would treat your men as men. Don't get me wrong, they have to be men in the first place. And by men, I mean actual masculine men. They have to have the right frame. They have to have the finances in order. But as long as they can see that you have the right history, you have the right motive, and then the loyalty is there altogether, I think we could all agree in here that a relationship is now going to last and it's going to be fruitful forever.
What's more important, a low body count or loyalty?
What's more important? I don't think I need to pick either one.
They tend to be the same.
I was going to say
they go hand in hand, because if a girl has a higher body count, it's more baggage. It's more excess he has to deal with. It's more I hate this term, but like alpha widows.
Yeah,
I never heard that term.
It's basically like the ex that the girl can't get over, but there's more of them. The more people she's slept with.
I do agree with certain points that you said about getting. I do agree with body count, and I was raised on women shouldn't get run through, and I do agree with that, and I'll preach that to my daughters. But what I don't agree with is the perfect family, the scenario. The greatest thing for a woman is when she's standing in her living room with 30 people celebrating her. Yeah, for some people, that is their life goal. I don't think my aunt. I've got a few people in my family that can't have kids. So
that's the exception. That's the exception.
No, and that's an exception. So it's to say she can't have kids, her life is any less fulfilled than my other auntie that has got that. Maybe, but she's living her best life in foreign. Like,
is she? She's had to adjust. Ultimately, you've got to remember.
Yeah, I hear you. So we can adjust, and I don't think her life is any less fulfilled.
No, it's not. It's not going to be. It's not going to be any less fulfilled. I mean, technically, it will be.
No, I hear what you're saying, because she has went through probably periods of her life where she's wanted a kid. Right, I get that.
But again, I mean, that is the exception to the rule, and it doesn't mean she can't be happy, but she's not going to be as happy. Now, that's just the sad truth of it, right? But if you're a woman, I mean, to go back to your previous point, what would a woman want more than to later on be able to say that they're a grandmother, great grandmother with loads of kids, load of people that have come from there? I know you said that that's not every woman's goal. What goal would you say a woman would value more than that long term? That society hasn't told her she should have.
Yeah, I'm like I want to cut the 30 great grandkids down to like 8, 9, because the cost of living out here is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of Christmas presents.
But the point is, if a woman doesn't prioritize a family, she ends up unhappy in the long term. In general, because this is when you survey women, because it's all fun and games when you're still hot, right, and you still look good, right. And you still get attention from men, but at some point that goes away. Like, no guys are lining up to date 50-year-olds.
Yeah,
and you're going to live to be 90. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. We have that window, so that's why we want that commitment.
Fertility window, yeah.
Yeah, so we need to optimize in that and try and find that commitment when we're in that window. So women are nurturing. They want to have kids naturally.
Not all.
Naturally you do. But I believe the only reason why some women will say they don't, and I personally believe I'm yet to be convinced otherwise, is because modern day social conditioning. Society has convinced you that's not your ultimate goal. But if you actually walk into a dark room with nobody in there by yourself, completely quiet, and ask yourself, what do you want? What does your biology want? I think you'll know the answer.
When you ask girls that are 18 and they're graduating high school, they all want to be married with kids.
That's the first thing they want.
Yeah,
but who sold them that dream?
It's just nature.
It's definitely,
as well.
It's definitely not society. You have feminism pushing. You can get your own bag. Female empowerment. Like, I've been told from the youngest age that I can do whatever I want.
Society's telling you that you should have this big career.
Yeah.
And make it on your own. And
bullshit.
That's in the long run. You're just gonna, if you're gonna be like a high up lawyer with loads of money, you may have loads of money, but you'll be lonely because you won't have your children.
You get a couple of more holidays a year out of your money. So fucking what? At the end of the day, what does it matter to you if you've not got a family? That's ultimately what you want.
Is to have children.
I mean,
That's
it's
the gift we have.
Yeah,
That's
we're
our
meant to
gift.
procreate.
Why-
You're
I get that.
breeding machines.
Like,
That's literally what you're
But it's
biologically
changing now.
designed.
It
No,
is
no,
changing.
I know this, but I want to ask you guys something. Yeah.
Sorry, Tony.
Now, the LGBT community
Yeah.
should be allowed to conduct themselves how they conduct themselves, right? So more than likely we're not going to get any kids from that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the women that we're now telling go to work, go to career and stuff,
Yeah.
don't have kids late. Now we're telling those women not to have kids. What do you think happens to the human race when people stop having kids?
It will become extinct, won't we?
That's what I'm talking about. So we need a man and a woman to have kids, right? Right. Otherwise, we need to continue the human race.
And to touch, sorry to cut you in, but but on that point, people have got to understand that what we're fed to believe we want and what we want on a DNA level, a cellular level, are two different things. And this brings me back to the very point you all touched on earlier with regards to what men are looking for in women and what women are looking for in men. Now, this is just for anybody watching. At the end of the day, the simple breakdown I provide for people is if you're a man, for any man in this room, if I was to sit here and break down a woman, so for example, I would say she's very, very caring. She loves her career.
Yeah.
Right, she's very, very driven. She's got loads of friends around her that love and respect her. Her family adores her to pieces. Highly educated. What is every single man in this room thinking right now?
In what sense?
When is she going to have...
If I was to describe a woman and start off and purely lay out those attributes or traits or her history, right?
Yeah.
What for any guy in here or any guy listening, what question do you have in mind? What's the first question you have?
What does she look like?
Thank you very much. Right. It all comes down to the aesthetics in the beginning. Right. Now, for women, it is slightly different in that, now, if I was to say he's a great looking guy, chiseled jaw, big dick, tall, right.
What does he do for a
What
living?
is it?
Thank you very much. You've broke. So the first thing you want to know, who is he? What does he do? What are his connections? What's his status? Right in society. I think deep down,
you
every
guys are
single
in
woman
denial.
asks those questions. And if I was to say, along with those things, if I was to drop it on you now and say that he's a complete bum, he's going nowhere in life, he still lives in his mum's basement and he's got no drive to accomplish anything in life, nobody around him respects him, he's got no friends and there's no girls trying to hit him up, what would you say now? Get the fuck away from me is what you say.
I always say like we shouldn't
say
date
take him to
bums.
church.
Hypergamy isn't a bad thing. Like why would you
Hypergamy is
why would-
designed for our survival.
Yeah, why
That's
would
exactly what
I
it's
don't
for.
want to date a bum. Like
No,
I hope to God you guys don't want to date bums.
So you're saying guys would date a girl who's bummy?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I know, but
Or
what-
at least it's
to
not the
us,
first-
what a
One
girl,
at a time.
a woman being a bum to us, well, we don't really look at women as bums. For us, it's more to do with your loyalty,
Yeah.
and it's to do with your attitude in life, whether you're arrogant, whether you've got that overly confident nature. To us, it's repulsive. But a woman having no money and a woman not being well connected, do you think we give a shit? Because that's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimately, on a DNA level, and this is what most men need to understand, this is what we act on. It's primal. So on a DNA level, we are ultimately after good breeding stock. So you need to have, and this is a woman's display of good breeding stock, good genes, is by having a great physique, a beautiful face. She's youthful, she's young, she's within that peak fertility window. She does have a clock. And sooner or later that will run out. And then she'll end up on the other side of that, where men are now not looking at her for sex. They're not looking at her for biological reasons, maybe for value as far as being a great nanny or, for example, being great with kids, being valuable in different areas. But we are not looking at you and thinking, I'm going to get good kids with good genes out of you once you're past that window. And that is even more so for menopause.
Yeah, because geriatric pregnancy starts at 35. So your options start to run out. They don't recommend having a kid over, what, like 37, 38?
From the studies I've read, it's between around 16, 17 to around early 30s is when they say is a woman's peak fertility window.
Yeah, well, and the problem is you have rich people pushing a luxury lifestyle on average people, like geriatric or IVF, which is something like girls always say. It's $25,000. Who has that lying around? And you have rich people that can do that, right? Like the Kardashians, they all had kids later in life. They're fine, but it's because they could afford to. The average girls can't do that. And so you have feminism pushing like chase the bag, chase the career, get ran through, and basically piss away the most valuable thing you have, which is your youth and your fertility.
Not only that, Pearl. What tends to happen is that I feel like there's an agenda in terms of there's a benefit to certain people that women are single, not in control of their finances, spending, and they've got money. So they've got a lot of money coming in. They're not tied down, but they're spending money somewhere.
So yeah, because women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions. And so there is an agenda in keeping women single.
Right, because you're not going to buy no big Birkin bag when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, well, women make less money, but own 2/3 of the world's debt, even though we make $10,000 to $15,000/pounds less than men per year. And so we have less money and we spend more.
100%.
Never thought about it. Yeah, we're impulsive.
Yeah, but it's because we're chemically different. We can't we can't help it. We have we're adults, but like on some primal level, we're chemically different every day. So like we're more likely
We're emotional beings.
Yeah, we're more likely to respond to make impulsive decisions. That's what it is.
And your friends are not going to help you because she wants to make those decisions as well.
Yeah,
So it's like the only
everybody's
person
the
that's
same.
really there is the guy that's just like the cheap guy that we call it. You know what I'm saying? He's just controlling the finance. Like, no, you can't keep doing this, babes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't afford it. We need this and this and this
What's
to
that
do.
that came through the letter? No, that's a letter.
That's why we date higher, isn't it?
So I have a question for the women. Would you, if you had a guy, I know it varies for every girl. So imagine a guy that has every single thing that you want, like perfect guy. Would you overlook cheating from time to time? Just a side chick? Nothing.
I would.
You would? You'd overlook it?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Even if also your bills are taken care of completely till you die?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Okay.
I wouldn't. If I had kids, it might be different. But
That's
if
what
I
I
didn't,
say too. Yeah.
if I didn't have kids, and I felt like if I was still like maybe my age now, I wouldn't overlook it because a trait that I look for is loyalty. And for me, I understand that the male nature is to spread his seed, go find out what he wants. And so I can understand that, but I also think that them giving into that nature of, even if it didn't mean anything, it was just like a one night stand, he was just caught up in the moment. That to me would be like you're a weak man. You can't hold, like, especially if we had something really good going on and we had a really good relationship. We've been together a really long time, and then you just fucked up one night. Like that to me is disrespectful to me, and then I wouldn't go back with you because now you would probably do that again because I've accepted that that's how you are now. You fuck up from time to time.
Can I just ask, have you been in that position before?
No, I've never been cheated on.
That you know of?
That you know of. I was just going to say. No, I'm joking.
So for you, why did you say yes?
I don't believe that men can not cheat.
Okay.
And when I say men, I mean most men. I think they're just built to. I think
See,
it's a.
You're
I-
dating the 20%.
You mean we're not designed
We're
to be
not designed to be with
Yeah,
one
I don't-
person.
Yeah.
Don't
No, I
say we're
don't.
not designed to cheat.
that's what I mean.
Because you're assuming that the woman is like somehow like deserving of just me alone.
No. It's
Like, what
not.
makes you think you're-
It's not
she's
about
saying
that.
men aren't designed to be monogamous, basically.
No. That's not her words.
Hey, let her say what she's saying.
She said
Yeah,
cheat.
guys, let her talk.
She said
Go-
cheat.
Guys, let her talk. Go ahead.
On mute mics.
Yeah, I don't believe that men can just be with one person.
Is that from experience? You've been like cheated on a lot?
No, I've been cheated on, but I've never found out until when it was way. So it's never affected me. But I kind of feel like it's a scientific or genetic, however you want to put it. I feel like men they think with their penises, and I personally, if I was with someone for many years and then I found out that they cheated on me, I wouldn't throw away a whole that that whole sort of relationship for one person who was probably insignificant. I wouldn't.
Because she did. That was the difference, though. She did say if it was a side chick, like having a relationship on the side, you'd still be alright.
Speaking to the mic,
wasn't
please.
Oh, sorry. If it wasn't a one night stand, or a relationship over a period of time, is that both acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do you think if he does cheat on you? Would you think that he still loves you?
Yeah, I would.
I don't think a man cheating means he doesn't love his partner.
Agreed.
Because I think not to be controversial, but monogamy is a social construct.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. It's
I know
it works for our society now.
It's very modern.
natural. If without a societal construct, a social construct, we would do what we want. We would do as we please.
We're brought right back down to our biology. Exactly.
No, the 20% will get the 80%. So because we have to stay with one
percentage will always
woman,
get a percentage. The more
because we have to stay with one woman in the West, it enables more men to have a woman. If they had polygamy, the best men would get the best wives.
But I
do think men are biologically predispositioned to cheat, but I also think you can make choices to not put yourself in those situations.
100%.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand what both of you guys are saying, because on one hand, I really do think a lot of guys, if it's thrown at them, are going to have a really hard time turning it down, and there's going to be a very like Tiger Woods. I think of, right. He had that whole he had like Facebook groups full of women, right? And then like that man was wildin', but like most guys don't have a bus full of Brazilian models waiting for them at the end of a golf course. I think most men couldn't turn that down. But at the same time, like my dad never cheated on my mom, right? And he's in a top 0.5% of earners, but he just doesn't drink and doesn't put himself in those situations.
There you go.
So
I agree.
he's very
100%.
good at it.
I don't think just because you're biologically predisposed to cheat or to be polygamous, I don't think that means you need to act on it.
Definitely
what I would
not.
say as an example is if men are biologically predispositioned to violence far more than women. Okay. Now, if a man started to batter the shit out of somebody in the street, what's the first thing we'd all say? Why couldn't you control yourself?
yeah.
Right. So I think you can also apply it to this. I think, and this is going to piss a lot of men off. I'm sorry, but the truth of the matter is, yes, I will agree. You are biologically predispositioned to have more than one woman or seek out more than one woman. Spread your seed, so to call it, right? That doesn't mean you need to act on it. And I think as a man, you can truly be happy long term without acting on it. I think you can.
100%.
I don't think so.
Can I just say one
But
thing?
I don't think so.
It's a bit controversial. Go ahead.
Like men are more loyal to their friends than they are to their women sometimes.
I don't think
Like,
so.
Men
I don't think
will
so
not
either.
sleep with a friend if men will say I'm not sleeping with a girl that's been with their friend or that's a friend's ex.
That's not loyalty to my friend.
No,
it's
but wait
not
there, but
loyalty.
they'll sleep around behind the woman they're supposed to love more than anything's back. Like
No.
they
The
will
reason
cheat.
why I don't sleep with my friends, with the girl that's been with my friend, is because I don't want my.
No, I'm not saying the woman that slept around. I'm saying if your friend was in a relationship with a girl or like someone your friend, not even a relationship, say your friend had fancied a girl, had liked a girl and had told you, you probably wouldn't go there because of your friend. But what I'm saying to you is you will go behind, you will sleep out of your marital beds.
But
Like,
that's not because
men show loyalty to women in different ways.
Yeah.
And
It's
so them it's protection and provisioning. That's how they show loyalty.
okay.
And-
so